Okay, so today we are dealing with the eternalization process, part two. That is God's origins, how God came to be, how who God is. So to start, of course, if you read the Bible, there are the two creations, the first and the second creation. The first creation is the less important one, but it is also still the more complicated one. In that, to explain it to you, I have to explain a whole lot of other things because you cannot it does not relate to the way we know things presently or the way you think God was supposed to have come about. But to start with, contrary to what people think, God is not a magical creature that has always been and will always be. Not in that light. Yes, who he is, who he became, or who he made himself to be, will always be and has always been. But it's not like from the beginning he was always powerful. He had to create it. He had to create himself into that being. But then when he created himself into that being, instead of just staying on that level of being that being, he like fundamentalized it so that uh, you can see we've already started the complications. It's but to I'll just give very brief sparse description of the first creation. The first creation, when the first time things happened and God created everything. Um, let me preface this. I wanted to skip it, but I feel I should say, my spirit says I should say it. So the first time, uh, aha. So God, to start with, is not the only creator, and He is not the called the creator because He's the only one that created, or the only one that tried to create, or the only one that can. He is called the creator because He's the only one that can actually create what He wanted to create. Every other being, every other way, you try to create something and then at the end of the day you discover that you didn't quite create what you're trying to create. Most times you actually create the opposite. That's why you see like governmental systems. Somebody starts out passionate. Some people actually, it's not every person that actually just pretend when they say they want world peace. Some people actually want world peace. By the time they try to go about it, they say they produce something completely different. Some people want world peace, also want a stable family, want to have their life balance, want a balanced life. But they end up finding that to succeed in one, you have to forfeit the other. They can't quite create what they want to create. Nobody else can guarantee that I will start in the evening and this is what I had in mind. And when I finish, this is exactly what I will produce. Nobody else. So that's why he says he is wisdom, and he says wisdom was the first thing he created before he created everything, because he first created how to create before he started creating. So when he says he's the only creator, it's because he's the only one whose creations stand, whose creations last, that cannot be destroyed. When he not only can he create what he wanted to create, when he creates it, it cannot be pushed back. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be reversed. So whatever he creates is what he wanted to create, and whatever he creates stands. And then so with that, we start understanding how God's definitions of things are different. Because, like for example, since we have gotten there, God's definition of existence is eternity. Like we're going to say the eternalization process. If something is not there for eternity, if something is not guaranteed, if something can be destroyed, as far as God is concerned, it does not exist. So when He says He is the creator, He's the only one that creates, that is sort of like we begin. That's where we are getting into that what He actually means. So a human being that is alive today and is dead tomorrow, as far as God is concerned, that thing does not exist. Because he can't bank on it. God needs to be able to bank on something. He needs to be able to say, okay, I have this base in this place, so to speak. But if you have a base in this place and then on the day that you need it, it is not there, somebody has destroyed it, it means he had been deceiving himself, and he does not work like that. God only works on the eternal level. He only works on things he can guarantee. So for God to say he has a base in this place, it means that that base cannot be destroyed. So no matter what happens, the day he needs it, if he goes there, he will get it. So you see where we begin to have conflict with God, because human beings' idea is that once uh, it is possible something, you may go there on the day you need it, and then it has been destroyed, or the person is not there, or something has gone wrong. God does not count all those nonsense. As far as he's concerned, that thing is nonsense. He will only count, he will only register what is eternal, what can be guaranteed, what no matter what, that thing will be there. That is where God starts from. So that is where God has a problem with man's idea of righteousness. Because man's idea of man's righteousness is when he's in a good mood, when he on a good day, when he's feeling good. God needs you to be able to guarantee that you will do the right thing on the worst possible day of your life. Absolutely worst case scenario. In that state, you can still produce this good. Whatever good you can produce in that state, that is the only amount of good that God knows that you have. So if when you're in a good mood, I think I've described this before, you can produce level 8 like righteousness. But when you're in a bad mood, when things get dire, when you're at your darkest, you can only produce level 1 righteousness. As far as God is concerned, He will only ever say you're a level 1 righteous man. He will never ever tell anybody that you're a level 7 or level 8. God forbid. He's not stupid, because He knows you can mess him up, you can disappoint him. He will only talk about the one that He can guarantee. So at any day you go to the person's house, you will see what he said to be true. If you get more than that, no problem. On a good day, then no problem. But at least this one, even on the bad day, you get. So it's only the things that He can guarantee that he mentions. So now back to uh, if I'm to mention what I think I'll just make another video. We'll discuss that part tomorrow. I don't want the videos to get too long. So that is enough for a foundation. So this will be God's story, God's origins, part one. And tomorrow I will discuss the second creation and why He had to create it this way. We're in the second creation now. This is the process of the second creation being created. So I'll discuss that tomorrow. Use the same shirt so you can trace the video. So I'll see you tomorrow.